My name's Call.
And this is Peck of Peck and Call. And today on Pehk and Kallabs, we have another special guest with us.
Who's that?
It's our good friend Jaime of the Moon Wink Games.
So if you don't know what Moon Wink Games is, allow Jaime to explain it a little bit.
It's so silly to hear that company game quote name said by another person. It's like I kind of invented that, and then there it was, and I read it, and no one has ever said it before. Hi, my name is Jaime Steve, and I am a game dev and the sole face and fingers of Moonwing Games.
And we are going to have a link to Moon Wink Games here right in our Discord. You guys can join anytime. Go there. You can actually play all these games in the browser. You do not need to download them.
You can even play them
correct,
through your
right?
phone's browser, too.
Really? Huh. I tried to do that on mine. It wasn't working, so I just played on my laptop. The first game I played, Jaime, I played Tico Taco Adventure. Do you remember making that one with the red dog?
Yeah, everybody says, why didn't the red dog kill me at first?
Yeah. I avoided him like 3 times. Then I'm like, oh no, he's friendly.
He's a good boy.
He's a good boy. That's all. Probably wants some tacos, though. Yeah, that was a standard platformer. Reminded me a little bit about Mario. And in the game, you have to gather tacos and avoid mean dogs. But there's this big red dog with a nice little smile, and he doesn't do you no harm. So I do like the background you use for this. It has kind of a Technicolor style. A lot of these give me a very 80s 8-bit vibe. Was that something you were going for?
Yeah, that one particularly, it was made for a game jam called, I think it was 64 by 64 game jam. And then the magic in that is that the game is supposedly playable in 1 pixel per 1 pixel in your screen. It shouldn't deform on the rescaling, and it's that's the thing, is it should work. It should be pixel perfect.
Now, I wanted to ask you, how many levels were in that game generally?
Oh, they are like 6, maybe.
I got to 3 and then I had to give up because I'm not very good. I'll admit it.
We got to 4.
Oh, you got to 4, everyone. Oh, I didn't know you were a Taco Taco champion.
I mean, I compete yearly for the prize money. What can I say?
I did also want to talk about this other game that is just so charming, Ghost Gun.
Ghost Gun.
And what really stood out was that all the sound effects and the soundtrack, it's all made by a human voice. Like, it sounds a bit like beatboxing. Was that you? Did you do those? That is great. And the game itself is actually pretty fun. It's exactly how it sounds. You're shooting ghosts.
And some ghosts do have guns.
Some ghosts have guns. And I like the dodge roll feature because it kind of reminded me of Alien Invaders. And I don't like in Alien Invaders where a shot's coming down and it's got to kind of has me pinned in a corner, and it's like, well, guess I'm SOL. But the dodge roll feature allows you to get past it and get into safety. So I thought that was a really nice feature to have available. Now, now, were you also the artist behind that one as well?
Yes, I don't know if you're aware of aware people are of Ludum Dare. It's basically, I think, the most famous game jam there is.
Wonderful.
What
And
about
I also played, and I'm going through these rapid fire because there's like guys, there's I think 20 games here on this one channel. So I also played Impetu, which is a racing game, and this is you're on a stationary track with 3 lanes. And what I really liked was the name of the tracks. There was one called Stairs, and I didn't realize that the tracks were in the shape of what they were called. There's one called Kind of Flower because it kind of looks like a flower. And I wanted to ask, in the first level, there are these obstacles you have to avoid. They're like bits of yellow. I wanted to ask, what were those supposed to be?
maybe sand in the tracks?
I see. I can see that because I thought it looked like cheese. And I'm like, well, running over cheese would slow you down, so that makes sense.
In some sense.
And the last game I played, I got my hands on Annie Shifts. And I actually liked the minimalistic style for the animals in this. The animation for the cheetah was pretty good. He doesn't seem to have a go down vertical animation, but you start out as a cheetah and you start acquiring different animals to traverse the map. You get a mole to go underground, you get a shark, which is a great white shark, to swim through water, and then eventually you get an eagle, and you can just, I think the eagle's broken because you're just flying over everything. Like, see you later, game!
As eagles should be.
That's right, Pehk is our local eagle, if you kids didn't know. And I wanted to ask you, Jaime, on this list in Moon Wink, what would you say your favorite game is?
Well, my favorite game really is because it's maybe the most popular, because most people play it. It was the first game I made, and it is a visual novel. How was it called? It's called Willingly Untitled.
I saw that. Very witty title.
Yeah, it was the first, but it's my favorite because that game is so crazy. I know it's not that I won't say it's fun. I would say, but I went all out. I didn't really measure myself. It was the first one, so it will always have a special place in my heart.
It's soap for the soul, man. And I see it's available on Android, Apple, Windows, even Linux.
Something for you Linux players.
God, the 32 of you that are out there.
Come on.
So, Pehk, what were some of the games you played?
Let's see. I just want to say the Bad Girls Club. That's what drew me in because that not only did it look, it stood out from the list. It actually gave me a Scott Pilgrim vibe based on the art style, and I jumped right in, and I had a really nice time with it. Like I don't know. It was just pretty. I thought it was pretty solid. I kind of want to go back and finish it. I only I like Call. I poked my head into each of them and played them for about 20 minutes each. But that one was one of the ones that I liked. Also Ghost Gun, because it's Ghost Gun. Like, I mean, it's perfect.
And Jaime, what would you say was probably the most difficult part in developing, say, Willingly Untitled? What was a real challenge for you to get that game done?
So, the most challenging part was, in part, writing it, because English isn't my native language. So no, it's to write something like that and just see it
Yeah.
on the screen and then see the oh man, this is so silly, man. This is I don't know. We people enjoy it, but one time someone there is a let's play of it on the internet, and the person who played it just really dug it. So but writing it, well, maybe, I don't know, maybe writing it, making games is such a joy, most of the time.
A
So
labor of love.
yeah.
I was talking with Peck, and I think we want to pick one of these games to do a let's play ourselves. So I think we're probably going to settle on Willingly Untitled. What do you think, Peck?
I think we can do that.
Yeah. And go through the whole game. I don't care how stuck I get. I'm going to finish this.
Yeah, I feel
I'm making a
commitment.
pledge.
Well, it's kind of unfinishable.
Oh.
So I just made a really big mistake.
Well, I guess we better prove the game wrong and finish it.
No, you cannot not finish it.
I get it. It's just so hard. It drove people away.
It's so unfinishable. You cannot not finish
I'll take that as a challenge.
it. Oh,
Well,
And what was an inspiration for Willingly Untitled? Did you see any other games or anything in your personal life that said, "Hey, I wanna put this into a game format. I want to really put my soul into this."
well, there are two inspirations on it. The first is a very known game. It's Steins Gate,
oh, Steins Gate. Sorry.
and I just love that game. So I made something that based on that inspiration, not just about the history of it, but just
Grew
the
from that
story of it.
aesthetic, that vibe almost.
Yeah, but mostly is the same genre. But and the other inspiration was that at the beginning, I talked with a friend and told him, "Could you please write a story for me?" And the way he kept telling me, well, maybe not, and then I was inspired to write my own story, and the story began about not being a story or wanting for a story for it to be a story and not being there. It was it the my friend helped me by not helping me make the story. Mostly that's the story of how willingly untitled came to be.
Ooh.
Well, I can't wait to get involved, play it. So, if I was to do a review on this, what would you expect a rating to be out of 10? Is it a 10 out of 10 game?
It ain't a 10 out of 10.
Oh, come on. You gotta believe in your work. It's a 10 out of 10. The music, the direction. You gotta believe in what you make.
The same. No, I cannot. Well, you have to believe. That's true. But there are so many great things out there, man.
Have you had anybody troll you on your games, or come up to you and maybe give you negative, not so constructive criticism, unstructured criticism, if you will?
That's something that stuck with me because even a bad review meant that the person who played was involved with it. I got a reaction out of you with the game.
I think the worst thing that can happen to any type of artist or developer is to just be ignored. Looks, presence, optics, it's all very important to building your brand and your presence on the internet, really, and in the industry. It's all about building your network, so if nobody's giving you any looks, giving you any attention, really, one could slowly fizzle out.
I mean, I'm waiting. Well, I'm a little bit starved of ice lately. Well, my I can see analytics of people who see my game, and
Right.
they aren't dead. These games are willingly entitled. It's basically evergreen. That game gets plays daily, at least one or two.
Just one or two.
Well,
That's good.
well, at least visits to the page. That's all.
Hey, that's traffic. And I wanted to ask, do you have any upcoming games you're working on? I understand if you don't feel like letting us know details, but maybe like a something you have working in progress.
Right now, no. Really, I've been out of the business for a little more than a year,
Oh,
but I'm planning a comeback.
He's planning a comeback, everyone.
heard it here first. Before anyone else. Moon Wink's coming back.
Better than ever.
Better than ever.
Yeah. Would you think about maybe doing a Willingly Untitled 2?
I was thinking about it. In fact, I had plans of it. I have, I had kind of a mock-up.
Ooh.
It was a little bit. It was visual novel and had knights and a swamp and a killer and an assassin. Now that I remember it.
You know, ideas are dangerous because they get talked about. Then you work on them, and before you know it, you got a whole game out of just something you thought about. It's pretty amazing, the human mind, don't you think?
Yes, I do. It's a powerful weapon. Weapon of love. Sorry, I get sick sometimes.
Love. If only that were true, I would.
And so I gotta tell you, Jaime, up here in the States, I really don't think about gamers in South America. Does it have a really big following down there?
Games, yeah. We're everywhere.
What would you say the most popular game in Colombia might be?
GTA.
What do you mean? You just gotta walk outside,
Wow.
just like Boston.
Just like Boston.
Whoa! No, man. There's peace over here.
Yeah, the big joke up here in the States, not that I stand by it, but it's like everyone in South America's got horrible internet connection. Do they say that about everyone in the States? Like everyone in North America is horrible high ping. It's like, like 10, 15 years ago, none of us were playing together. So, pretty amazing.
No. The connection here in the capital is good, but in my hometown, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, I live in a part of New England where I'm kind of a ways from Boston. I'm where we start getting wild turkeys, deers, foxes, all little critters, and I'm in a bit of a dead spot with my internet connection. So what we had to do was get a mini cell tower just so I could make phone calls. And recently I had to upgrade my internet, so yeah, living in the rural towns, they get forgotten a little bit. It's kind of a hard thing to go about living in a first world when your internet's garbage.
Yeah, but technical problems over here. No, the internet here in Bogota is very good, but it's not South Korea good. but but we managed. In my town, I live with 1 megabyte of internet, and I was happy.
You're a stronger person than I.
You're gonna be telling your grandkids, I used to have 1 megabyte of internet. Yeah, grandpa, whatever. And they're on their like streaming virtual boy or whatever they're using those days.
Those days 200 years from now.
Well, I, I, I think I'll be a pretty happy head in a jar, really.
Nice. And I wanted to ask yourself, are there any AAA games that you've played yourself recently?
Well, right now I'm playing Gears of War 5.
Ah,
Oh, that-
Gears guy.
That came out. I had no idea that came out. I thought it was not until
Oh.
around Christmas. That's neat.
I'm
Listen,
not a Gears guy. I am a cheap guy, and that game is free on Xbox Pass right now. So I paid like $0 for the Game Pass, and I'm playing it because I bought myself a GeForce GTX 180, and I have to play something with it besides Monster Hunter World.
Monster Hunter! Oh, I am
Yeah,
in
man.
the middle of that right now.
Oh yeah, Iceborne came out.
Yep, I
Really?
haven't put it down.
Are you playing World
Yeah.
or Generation?
Oh
Ultimate?
yeah, Iceborne Worlds.
Oh, he plays Generation Ultimate too. You're like my new best friend. See, I play Generations Ultimate. He plays World, so we're on
Hey,
both ends of the fan base right now.
I play both. All right.
So, I'm,
I mean, just talk about a well-made game.
Mhm.
Capcom's on fire right now. They're just one after another, and we got Bayonetta 3 coming out. Like, is anyone gonna answer that to them?
That's not a
Or
Capcom
they
game.
just- It's not
No, it's Platinum, or no, it's Sega technically.
Sega. Yeah, Capcom and Sega's logos. I get those mixed up. They're very similar.
One's blue and yellow, the other one's blue and white. But yeah, it's the blue. The blue's confusing.
Sega.
but Monster Hunter is life, man. It's good.
It's unreal.
That's my island game. You know, you get alone in an island, you play Monster Hunter. Well, what you say is it's what they say about that in Japan, don't they? People who love Monster Hunter can play only Monster Hunter and be happy.
Oh yeah,
It's not-
I could just keep going on hunts and over. They've got like 8 different weapons to use.
8,
14.
14.
Oh my god, I was way off. Woo!
I
14
think in Try there was 14 when we jumped on. Yeah, we're Try babies.
In Try there weren't I think the gun lance wasn't there, and the bow wasn't there.
Yeah. Okay, so there was 12. I was off, then I too was off.
Try. I have tried just right here. I used to play it on a less than legal way,
Oh.
but
We don't know what you're talking about.
yeah. Try. That's the thing. I live in a little town with a we, and that's
Right.
the crazy
So-
thing about it is that in the last 3 months of the service I was playing there.
I miss Nintendo
What?
Wi-Fi.
Oh yeah, Devil Joe. That's the thing. I didn't even have internet connection when I started playing it, so I played that game mostly in
Solo?
single player.
Oh my, you fought Deviljo by yourself?
No, I couldn't because you have to go to you have to connect to the internet to
Yeah, that's
to
right.
find Devil Joe.
That's right. Deviljo was online exclusive. I forgot.
Yeah. And then 3 months before the service closed, I was able to go there and I watched that majestic laser pickle in the eye and I killed it. No, it was
He's
amazing.
too angry to die. Now we got the new one coming out, the monkey. What's his name?
Rajang.
Rashang.
Rajang is a goddamn... He's a monster. He's a monster, right? He's actually the one I... Actually, did we talk about that? It's like, man, Rajang would be perfect in World, and then they introduced...
You called that 2 weeks before they announced it. It's a little spooky.
So I guess I'm one of those people on the inside, I guess. Well, let me tell you, Core Pecco's coming, and it's gonna be a hoot. I miss him so much.
I really hope Corpecco doesn't come. I hate that goddamn thing.
But Yangaruga's an acceptable substitute. Fuck
no, I hate both of them equally.
Oh, I did see the cutscene where him and DeViljo were fighting, and
explain.
Oh my god! So like Hunter's like, what's all the haps? And then you see little Yangaruga sleeping in the tree, and then DeViljo's like, hey, I'm the angriest pickle in the world. What the hell's that? Yangaruga's like, hey, piss off, and Pickles is like, no, I'm Pickles. I do what I want. So they start fighting, and it goes about what you'd expect. At first, Pickles launches Yangaruga into like a rock. It's like I got a DBZ, and it crumbles on him. It's like, damn, that wasn't impressive at all, Yangaruga. That intro, you got your ass kicked. But he breaks out. He breaks out of the rubble. He goes, I'm not finished with you. And he just flies and starts clawing him in the eyes and does his famous tail thing. He throws he beats the crap out of Pickle, and that's what scared me.
To the face, man. Say it to the face.
Man, I fought him early in Generations, and I wanted to quit. I wanted to throw the controller down, be like, this is bullshit, spamming, I don't even know what you are, you want to be Kutku, go home.
It's a Kutku Raytheon baby.
It's a gosh damn Frankenstein.
If you thought that was bad, wait till you fought One-Eyed Garuga. He's even worse.
So, if you were to design a monster fight in Worlds, what would be a key attack you'd want the monster to do? And this goes to both of you guys.
Oh, nah. I'll let Jaime go. Yeah, Jaime go first.
I'll tell you guys my idea first, because I've got this idea for a sloth monster. Mm-hmm. And basically, he'll attack you. He'd use the bear skeleton. What was his name, Pehk?
The Azuros?
Yeah, he'll use the Azuros skeleton, but he'll have extremely long arms. And so what he'll do is, he'll be, slapping you, then he's going to change it up. He'll go extremely slow, so you'll do your dodge roll, and then he'll speed it up again.
Oh, like he'll project the dodge and he'll just punish you for it?
Exactly.
Oh, that sounds cool.
I want him to be like a punisher. It's like, oh, you're going to dodge behind me? Wrong. You're going to go on top of me? No. And then throw in trap immunity just to make it impossible.
Well, this isn't a new concept, but I kind of want them to bring it to World. In the Chinese MMO for Monster Hunter, they introduced a monster that was essentially a giant beaver. And what it would do...
Remember that one.
And it would bite, it would carry trees, it would rip out of the ground in its mouth and try to beat you with it. Basically, it would like a giant sword, but it's a tree and it's fighting you with it. And I'm like, that's goddamn scary because it's a beaver, and you wouldn't expect it. But and it's great because they gave it just looks like a beaver, but they just gave it like the Zenogre treatment where it's just covered in scales, so it's like this weird dragonic like beaver, and I'm like, that's so scary. I want that in World. Actually, what's its name? Hold on a second.
Badoof.
Badoom.
Badoom.
It's it's the K-Cerber, that's what it's called. Yeah. Oh, he's cute. I like him. Yeah, that's my idea.
The only
All
idea,
right. Yeah, go ahead.
the only idea I could think about, and it won't fit the game, and it will be too dark. That's not my style, but that I was inspired. It would be like this fish that uses like it, it would be like Globo, except that
I see. An
instead
angler.
instead of just a fish that has a lamp at the end of the bait, it has another hunter.
Oh,
The handler. It's the handler.
I knew she was a menace.
Yeah, well, and then it would be like the stars of Monster Hunter PvP.
Or that, or they could use like one of the palicos as like a trap. It's like, oh no, this little cat's in trouble, and it makes a sound that sounds like the palico screaming, like wow, wow, but it's a giant ass monster underneath.
That would be too dark, but
More to come on that. I'm sorry, man. You said the magic world's Monster Hunter. Now we had to talk about it.
I was like,
Just the way things go
Mhm.
around here.
around
it
here.
happens to me all the time. That's why I always say, don't get me to talk about Monster Hunter, or I won't shut up.
Well, if we have when we have the Monster Hunter episode, we know we're bringing you back on.
Yeah.
Reach it out, Def. So, I guess it's time to wrap things up. So, Pehk, any last questions, concerns?
No
Yeah, concerns.
no concerns, but I really hope to see more stuff from you because I really like all the games that you have available to everyone. And I don't know.
And again, we will link that in the
description
here. So, guys, you should check that out. If you're bored, you want to kill some time, just go on your phone. Check them out. Moon Wink Games. They're fun. No pressure.
Except all the pressure.
Except you better do it. Or not. But seriously. Not serious.
Yeah,
Go play the games.
Anyway, thanks again, Jaime, for coming on. And this is Pehk and Kallabs signing off. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.